understood with the Thomson structure of atom. He said that the positive charge occupy the entire atom and in between positive charges the electrons are embedded. So that is what George Thomson had given in his structure. There was no experimental fact for this, but Rutherford wanted to give an experimental proof for this structure of atom. And so what Rutherford did, he took a gold foil. Why did he choose gold here? Because you know that gold is highly malleable metal. It can be drawn into thinnest sheet. So what Rutherford did, he took a very thin gold foil. You analyze that there must be around 1000 atoms there. So that thin gold foil was taken. Second, he chose helium particles. Helium particles is having 4 atomic mass unit. Okay, its mass unit is 4. That means it is having 2 protons, 2 electrons and 2 neutrons. So it is positively charged particles. Helium is a positively charged particle. We call it as alpha particle also. And moreover, helium particles are fast moving particles. So he chose gold foil because it is highly malleable. Then he chose alpha particles, that is helium particle, because it is positively charged and also they are fast moving. And now what was his plan was to incident these helium particles on the gold foil. So suppose this is a gold foil. He wanted to incident these helium particles on the gold foil. And he expected some results also. He expected that most of these alpha particles should deflect back, because J.J. Thomson said that entire atom is made up of positively charged and helium particles are positively charged. There must be some force of repulsion between them, because like charges repel, and because of that repulsion helium particles should deflect back. Almost all the helium particles should deflect back. So this he called it as scattering experiment. And he started his experiment. He incidented helium particles or alpha particles on the gold foil. He incidented helium particles on the gold foil. Surprisingly, the results were not exactly as Rutherford had thought of. The results were something different. What he found? He found that most of the helium particles passed through the gold foil. They entered through the gold foil. And very few, where he had expected all the helium particles to revert back, to deflect back, in adverse to that, very few helium particles deflected back. That means he was surprised that a bullet was hit on a tissue paper and it reflected back. So this was his surprise. Then, based on his observation, he concluded, as J.J. Thomson had told that the entire atom is made up of protons, he proved it wrong. He said that if entire atom would have been made up of protons, then almost all the helium particles should have deflected back. Why helium particle pass through gold foil is because almost all the space in the atom is free. Atom is having free space, and that is the reason why alpha particles passed through the gold foil. So this was first reason he gave, that why the alpha particles passed through the gold foil is because almost all the space of an atom is free space. Now second, why few alpha particles deflected back? And what was his count? His count was one particle, alpha particle deflected back out of 12,000 alpha particles. And why did that alpha particle deflect back? Because the positively charged particles occupied a the positively charged particles occupy a very small space in an atom, and one or two helium particles hit that small space and they reflected back. It's like throwing a stone to a compound wall which is made up of iron bars. And if you blindfold yourself and throw a stone, very few will pass through that iron bars. Remaining all will come back only. So that is how it was. He explained that. He said that very few helium particles came back because they hit that protons which occupied a very small space in an atom. So he explained this way in that J.J. Thomson, and he tried to prove J.J. Thomson's structure was wrong. So based upon all these observations, what Rutherford concluded? Rutherford concluded that the positively charged particles of an atom occupy a very small space in an atom. So suppose this is an atom, and in that the positively charged particles occupy a very small space. He said that the space is 10 raised to 5 times smaller than the radius of an atom. That space is almost 10 raised to 5 times smaller than the radius of an atom. In the radius of an atom. Okay, so positively charged particles occupy a very small space in an atom, and that space is so small that it is almost 10 raised to 5 times smaller than the entire atom. And we called that space as nucleus. He called it as nucleus. And nucleus occupies the center of the atom. It occupies center of the atom. And what about electrons now? Where are the electrons? Rutherford said that the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a circular orbit. He said electrons revolve around the nucleus in a circular orbit. So this was the structure given by Rutherford. I'll tell you the main points of the structure. First, he said that the positively charged particles of an atom occupy a very small space in an atom, and that space is at the center of the atom, and we call that as nucleus. That means protons are present in the nucleus of the atom. And second, electrons revolve around the nucleus in a circular orbit. So this was the structure proposed by Rutherford, and there was drawbacks for this structure.